gotta do about them daily solutions, right? We gotta put a banging donk on it.
Salty tubs.
Put a donk on it.
Hydrometers.
Yeah, put a donk on it.
Pitch blackness.
Put a donk on it.
Skin receptor neutral.
Put a donk on it.
Audio hallucinations.
Wicked. Put a donk on it.
Double stud walls.
Yeah, put a donk on it.
Epoxy resin.
Put a donk on it.
Grab bars fucking everywhere.
Put a donk on it.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am Graham, once again holding down the fort here alone in the studio. I guess not alone. Jordan is also here, but he's not in front of the mic. He's behind the mic. He's actually making some really animated faces right now. I wish you guys, what's that? You're giving every listener $10? That's really generous of you. So just go to floattanksolutions.com/Jordan knows me money. And all right, getting back to the actual episode. Is there a question today? It's a really long one. And it takes a little explanation too at the very beginning. So it's a long question with a footnote. But let's just go ahead with it. So, hi, first of all, hello. What do you encourage your tacos and taco supremes to do when someone wakes and starts showering in a time of limbo? So first of all, instead of kind of managers and regular level employees, we call them Taco Supremes, and tacos is the background there. And time of limbo, I assume he means that time after you die, but before you're actually in your assigned afterlife. So when you're kind of actually in this beyond living and death state, or just maybe a transition between floats. Not exactly sure. So by that, I mean 5 to 10 minutes before the scheduled time to start playing their music. Okay, so I guess it was time between floats. I understand that short floats can be good, and I've found that especially for the first time, a 50-minute float can be the norm, as people's minds start wondering about the wake-up music. Thinking they're done with their floats, I wish to start their pump so that the water can filter and thus start getting the room ready for the next client. However, my concern is that they are showering for excessive salt in the face, or they just wanted to check their phone and intend on hopping back in until they hear the music. Just trying to find the balance for myself and recommendations for staff between being efficient in the workspace while not being totally invasive to the person and their session. Whew. Okay, that was a big one. But basically it's just coming down to someone gets out of their float early, like before the scheduled wake-up music to come on to actually end their float. What do you do? Do you turn on the music early? Do you assume that they're getting out and run the pump so that you can actually get the next person in maybe with a little more time? What is the right ethical and moral answer? And in this case, I think it's actually not too, at least like I'm not too divided, and I'm the only one here, so that's really all that matters. I would say just don't turn on the music initially. Turn it on at the scheduled time. Don't turn on the pump early. If they come out of the room and they say, yes, I'm totally done with my float, like I'm not going back in that room, for sure, turn on the pump or anything else, assuming that it doesn't interfere with anyone who's still in the tanks, which at least at Float On is kind of another level to this problem. Like even if people get out early at our shop and we know that they're out of the room, our rooms are still right next to other rooms that usually have people floating in them. So we can't really turn on our pump equipment anyway, just because it would just pass right into the tanks next door. So in our case, it's not a bonus even if we know that they have come out. But again, the customer's paying money to come in, or even if it's a free float, it's a free full-length float, whatever that means for you, an hour or an hour and a half. So, if someone is out and showering, especially if it's just 10 minutes beforehand and you think that they're getting out anyway, don't assume anything. It's way better to yourself just have to rush a little bit more during transitions, or again, get the next customer in on time as opposed to early. Way better to do that than to anger a customer by assuming that they're done with the float and kind of if you weren't actually done with the float, but the pump turns on when you're in the shower just getting salt out of your eyes, like I'd feel a little bit rushed or almost that my kind of calming experience was being pushed on a little bit excessively from the outside. So in things like this, I think especially just as a business owner, it's important to really think of the needs of the customer ahead of just your own, or even the customer who's coming in next. So, yeah, in this case, again, don't worry too much about whether they're coming out early or not. Your reaction just should be the same, which is assume that they're staying in there full time, turn on the music once they're actually out, or turn on the pump again if you are able to run it, once you know for sure they're out of the room. And that's it. So, good. I hope that was satisfying. And if you have your own short or lengthy questions to send our way, cruise on over to floattanksolutions.com/podcast. And I'll be joined back in the studio in just a couple days with my co-host Ashkan. So have that to look forward to. All right, everyone. Have a good one out there, and talk to you tomorrow.